Hey there, I'm Curly, and welcome to Unfiltered and Undiscovered, the podcast where three music lifers dig into the songs, the stories, and the legends of music that may not have crossed your radar yet. But if you're new here, let me set the scene. I'm the punter, the guy who swears that the best music, the best Australian independent music, was in 1986. I've got the record collection to prove it. Now, joining me each week, I've got Braggy. He's a lifelong muso, a dreamer that's still waiting for that one song of his to go viral. He knows his stuff and he loves digging into lyrics. And of course, we've got Rossi, the roadie, the manager, and the guy with the story about every band that's ever plugged into a pub PA system anywhere from Perth to Parramatta. Together, we get unfiltered with the best undiscovered artists across Australia and occasionally the world. And occasionally, we also talk a whole lot of rubbish around artists that we already love. Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, I'm Alison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids Hunters.
This is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
My favorite bands from Australia.
You're listening to our friends, Braggy, Rossi, and Curly
on the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered
podcast.
Let's get started. Hey there, it's Curly here, and welcome to episode 227 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. We are three old blokes with one obsession, and that's music that matters. Unfiltered chats with undiscovered artists. Every week on the pod, it's guitars, grit, and the good stuff that you're not going to hear on mainstream radio. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered, and wherever you're listening or watching, hit that like and subscribe button and share it with a friend of yours that needs to hear some new music in their life. As always, I'm welcoming my two co-hosts. We've got Rossi from Sydney, the capital of the music scene here in Australia, and the one Braggy who's from Adelaide, the city that's trying to threaten Sydney's crown, but still a little bit of way to go. So first up, how are we, Braggy? How's your week been?
Excellent. I know we haven't warned our guests that we talk a little bit of footy before we get into the music, but I feel like I had a pretty good week on the tipping, boys.
Yeah, I thought you were pretty good.
Maybe not as good as Rossi, but So I haven't really got any music stuff to report. Like Adelaide's been pumping, as you know. Recently, I've been nearly every weekend. I've been going to see someone, but it's almost finished off. The Fringe is about to finish now, so
I'm really prepared to blame Queensland for Blues Fest.
Oh yeah, we've got that to talk about, haven't we? I forgot about that.
Blues Fest is gone ski and in administration and all of that. But before we do. Rossi, you had a great week on the footy tips, a full perfect round in the NRL. So,
look, at this stage of the year, form it's just throwing the dice.
I tend to agree. So, but overall, Curly's had 2 weeks of shockers in both codes. So, let's hope it gets better for me.
I was a bit upset with St George. I was watching them on Saturday, and then that last 20 minutes, I just could not believe it.
Yeah, we won't talk about that because it's the hope that hurts, as I keep saying. It's the hope that kills you, right? So to cut a long story short, Rossi's leading NRL. He's on 16, already 6 clear of Tave and Waxy. We've got Kat and Katie Brooke coming up 4th and 5th. So Katie Brooke sitting there on 8 points. A newcomer to the footy tipping, Moose, which is an old mate of Braggy's, he's sitting on 7. Big Stu, our country music correspondent, on 6, and Curly's on 5. So well done to everyone sitting above. It's going to be short-lived. And in AFL, Tave leaves the pack on 8, followed by Waxy. Waxy's pretty consistent, Braggy, just quietly. So
is he in lead overall?
No, the overall we're just doing the three of us, and
okay.
Waxy's on 8, Rossi's on 7, Moose is on 7, Cat's on 6, Curly's on 6. and Big Stew's on 5. So at least I'm not last in the AFL. So I think it was overall for the two comps, Rossi's 23 points, Braggy's 21, and Curly's on 11. So
Braggy's coming for me already. I remember him sneaking in last year.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big gap. The only piece of news that I really want to mention is Bernie Lynch from the
Eurogliders.
Oh, yes, we lost Bernie.
Away. Yeah, so I still remember seeing the Eurogliders at Mansfield Tavern, and what a great band. The Eurogliders were. Heaven can't be must be there. What an Australian classic song. And once again, we've just lost a good one there in Bernie. So
he and Grace did some very good songwriting.
Perth. They were Perth band. Yeah.
The bass player of that band guy came over from England, Ron Francois, and he came here with the Teardrop Explodes.
Oh, okay.
He came with the Teardrop Explodes, and he came over and he was spectacular. I did some shows with him. I think he was working for James Rain or someone. He was like this freakish bass player. Didn't even use a bass amp on stage in those days. Just a wedge and a DI, and he just slap. And it's like, wow, really good.
Did you ever?
That band were great.
Did you ever do any work with the Eurogliders there, Rossi? Or
no. Grace a bit, but not Bernie with Grace. Just bits and pieces around the place, But they were. They're a big band for a while there.
Oh, huge, and the dynamics of that relationship certainly stood the test of time, I guess, because they were married and then they weren't, and then they've remained close in music and all this sort of stuff. So big loss with Bernie leaving us. Let's not talk about Blues Fest, because what I would want to talk about is our artist and our guest tonight, Camille Trail. She's a Camille Trail. I think I sort of trailed off when I said trail, so it's Trail. Captivating audiences, UK tours, great support acts, one of our most exciting up-and-coming indie artists. She's got a new single out called Postcard, so please welcome Camille to the podcast. How are you, Camille?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, Camille. We usually like to start out by finding out what our guests like just your journey up until now. So when music first became a part of your life, did we come from a musical family, or how did you find it, and how have you got to just how have you got to where you are now? If you can fill us in on that.
Yeah. My mum plays a little bit of piano. Other than that, there's no really kind of musical people. My dad likes to think that I got my talent from him, but he's very much like
that's dad.
Yeah.
In general.
But I started piano lessons when I was 8. I feel like most kids, they play a musical instrument when they're a kid. Did piano lessons, loved that. I always liked singing. I grew up on a cattle property, so all the time when I'd be feeding the dogs in the afternoon, I'd be singing my little heart out, but I hated people listening to me. And then as I got older, I think I heard Norah Jones and Delta Goodrem for the first time. And then that was the first time that I realized, I was like, oh my God, you can sing and play the piano at the same time? Like, that is insane. So I was like, let's try that. So I was a bit ambitious. And I think the first song I tried to learn was like Born to Try, or like Don't Know Why by Norah Jones, setting myself up for that, as like a 10-year-old. And then I kind of found out that I really liked that. I went to high school, started singing lessons. I joined all the choirs and the glee clubs, and I was living my glee TV show dream. And then, I decided that I wanted to do it as a career, or at least try to. And then I went to uni, studied songwriting, and then, here we are.
That's awesome. So you got this new single out that we listened to, and it's like something that came about really quickly. It wasn't, it came about in a day, I read. But what I'm interested in is that, like, a couple of your earlier songs before that, like the 20s, which I really love too. I think it's a great song. And something a fair bit before, like Holding Pattern. There's songs about kind of treading water and struggling to take that next step forward. Do you think with this song now, because it is different from your other stuff, do you think you're now moving in that. Does it feel like that?
Yeah, weirdly enough, yeah, it kind of feels like, I don't know, it feels like it was a while there when I feel like it's also kind of just figuring out who you are as a person, right? And then also, I think it's also just figuring out who you want to be as an artist and what sound you want. You kind of go through so many ebbs and flows, and each moment is always genuine. You can't really look back now just because it's different and be like, oh, that wasn't really who I was. Like it was for that, that time in your life. So it's cool, like watching where it goes. But yeah, it kind of feels it's like, like I've settled. This is where I'm meant to be. Feels nice.
Well, I found Postcards to have quite a pop element to it, right? Yeah, there are a couple of runs are a bit countryish, but overall the song had a bit of a pop vibe. And then combined with you talking about how you decided to be an independent artist and all that sort of stuff, is that like kind of a bit of a transition? Like, did you have people in your corner that you've kind of no longer working with? Did you sort of decided that if no one else has a say, then no one else has a say? Was it a bit like that for you, or?
It was never really like, it wasn't like this big crazy thing that happened. It was kind of, I mean, it's very expensive sometimes to have a team and to be paying for all of that. So that was honestly the biggest factor. I was like, I cannot keep affording to pay essentially 2 rents, to keep this happening. I'm very broke. I'm a struggling artist. So that really was the driving force. And then I think, I've always had a really supportive team. And we always work together for a really long time. But I think, as like you're changing as a person, the music is changing, sometimes it kind of feels like you kind of just grow apart, even though nothing was necessarily wrong. It's just like, it kind of just felt like it was time for a fresh start. I think the music was reflecting that as well. And it just kind of felt fresh to be able to make all the choices by yourself as well, which was really nice. I'm like, wow. And it felt weird though, because I was like, I have no one to bounce this off anymore. Like, this is bizarre. Right. It's nice.
Maybe when you get there, you could send a postcard. I bet the views are beautiful, that you never want to go from there. Can think about me, all of the could have beens. Maybe it's irrelevant, maybe for the hell of it, maybe. I think you know that I don't really care, though you saw that I cut off my hair. Don't wanna wish you the best, baby, you should clean up your mess. I get lost when I'm on my own, but I know nothing is wrong.
Yeah, I didn't get any of the country runs though, Rossi. I reckon it's really sounds really independent, more Claire Bowditch style. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to describe it as it's a really delicate recording, like just the sound.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
it's very cool. It's nice to hear
different vibes from old guys who. Yeah, I mean, but your songwriting has always been direct. Like, I love Postcard. That's a great song, but the 20s, you must get a lot of things from that. My daughter's in her 20s, and she all the sentiment in that song, which is so honest. I love how it's just direct. You just tell it how it is. I can really relate to that because my daughter's kind of been going through the same thing. She's back living at home now. She feels like, I'm not going anywhere. I haven't got a partner. So you must have touched a lot of other girls in their 20s or boys as well with that song.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I feel like I was kind of really going through it. And that song kind of really just came out. This is going to sound very woo-woo, but it almost feels like I didn't write that song. Like it kind of like it just came so quickly, and it was just like it kind of just felt like sounds so hippie and but it kind of just feels like I was just a channel that the song was meant to come through, and it just came out. And But I was going through a similar thing. I was like, shit, like I thought that, you know, I would, when I was 10 years old, by now I should have, you know, been married. I should probably have a kid next year. My career, I was going to be famous by now.
No.
Yeah. Actually, when I was listening to that song, Camille, there's a line in there that said you had more friends when you were 18 than what you do facing 30. And my initial thought was just wait till you get to 60.
Oh, very good.
No, but what happens is that those friends when you're 18, all that big bunch, not all of them are really your friends. You just filter them out as you get older, and you keep the really good ones because they get through those times. Don't you think, Rossi? You're the oldest.
Yeah, I am the oldest. My oldest mate, I met on the first day of kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
I've got a couple of those, but yeah.
Wow,
but
that is awesome.
Look, I was looking at your trajectory. You've travelled overseas, Camille. You've gone to Europe. You've done a bit of work over there. So how's your working process now? You're back here. Like, who do you work with to get your tracks down? Do you do much of the work yourself? How does that work for you?
A lot of the songs recently, so like Gotta Get to Know You onwards, so Gotta Get to Know You 20s, those kind of songs. I've been working with Garrett Cato. He's been producing. So the kind of previous tracks, Gotta Get to Know You onwards, have all been with Garrett. Actually, Magic Trick, one of the songs I did with Shane, which was nice to work with him again. He's amazing. I fucking love Shane. Sorry, are we allowed to swear?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Don't be fucking sorry.
My dad, he's like, you need to stop swearing. You need to be a bit classier. I'm like, yeah, songwriting wise, to be honest, I kind of do most of my songwriting solo. But Postcard was co-written with Garrett, and it was actually written in the studio, and that's the first time that I've ever done writing like that, and that was really fun. It was really nice to mix it up, so I could see myself doing more of that in the future. And I don't know if it would work, but even just going to the studio with no songs and then just seeing what happens, I feel like that's really cool, and you get a different vibe out of it too.
Yeah, that could be expensive though.
Yeah, I was getting the shooting pains thinking about the bill.
Yeah, pay all that money and end up with nothing.
Well, it does happen. It does happen.
What's it like? What's the scene like in England then for your style of music? I want to say country, but it's not really country. Because when I think of England, I really don't think of country music. It's
folk. You think folk?
Yeah, I guess I think folk. So, is that?
They're very big on their folk music. And to be honest, it was amazing. Like when we went over there, I was like, is anyone actually going to show up? Like no one knows who I am. Like I'm not a big artist. I'm a very small, new emerging artist. Am I just going to go over there, spend all this money going over there and then be playing to empty rooms? But I mean, the crowds over there were amazing. I feel like they just loved discovering new music. And if anything, they actually liked discovering new artists more than probably going to their favorite artists. I think a lot of them said that, you know, they walked past and saw the poster and they were like, oh, 2 Australians. We love Australians and folk music. Amazing. Let's buy a ticket. And a lot of them didn't even look us up and listen to our music beforehand. They just bought a ticket and came, which was so cool.
Yeah. And so when you go and do those gigs, you've got, like you just said, these last few songs you've done with Garrett, like the 3, but do you go right back to your, like that album from the River of Sins? Yeah. Do you go back to that album and play those ones as well? It's very different, that album. I want to talk about that a bit later.
Yeah, sometimes. I feel like a lot of the times I like to play more the recent stuff, but sometimes it's just like the vibe and you'll be like, I'll squeeze this one in. And then when you're playing acoustically as well, the songs sound quite different to what they do on the album, like the production version. And I always like the acoustic shows because it's almost like people are getting a snapshot of what the song sounded like when it was written, because that's, you know, how it was written with just the guitar. So it's kind of nice. You get a bit of both. Some
of those songs are like old friends though, aren't they? Yeah, I haven't seen you for a while. How's that come? I know some other songwriters who go, you'd say, you've got to have this in the set list, mate. And he goes, no, I wrote that when I was 18 and it embarrasses me. And that's someone I know who's but who's in his 60s playing now, and he still has to play a song he wrote when he was 18, and he just cringes every time he sees it. Yeah, it's like, oh, do I have to, please? One thing I've been talking to a fair few young performers about this sort of stuff, Camille, and be interested to hear your take on it. Do you have an idea who your audience is? Like, I know some guys they say, I've never thought of this, but who is it that you reckon you're looking at? Like, you know, if you know who your audience is, you know kind of a little bit about how you can grow what you're doing. Who do you reckon it is that's listening to you?
I feel like, you know, you always kind of look at your Spotify for artists and you get all those kind of things and you look at your demographic, and it's changed a lot since Postcard has come out. But before Postcard came out, I feel like my biggest age demographic was the 45 plus age demographic. And then, so I feel like that's very, you know, like country music. And then since Postcard has come up, it's bumped up that 25 to 35 range. But then 45 up is still the next one, and it's not far behind. So it's funny having both, because it's almost like, okay, well, how do I work this now for both? Because I feel like both are probably very different. But yeah, it's a hard one. But then I found that the responses that I've gotten, the 45 kind of plus age demographic, have, you know, they've responded and they're like, oh, I love the song. Love that you're not sad anymore.
It is a little dark, their first album.
But Camille, it must, with those two very clear markets, it must make it quite challenging in social media when you're looking at what content to put out, what's going to appeal to which market. Does that sometimes leave you frozen as to what to put out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm horrible with social media anyway. I don't really like it a whole lot. I'm horrible with coming up with ideas, and then I just default to taking the piss out of myself, and then people be like, oh, she's so funny. I'm like, I don't know what else to post.
I also
here's
what you do. You look after the old buggers on Facebook, you treat the young kids to Instagram and TikTok, and don't worry about it. Never the two shall meet.
Well, actually, when you say that, it's like you do kind of, you know, TikTok, you know, that's a lot more of probably on a majority of
16 to 24.
Yeah. So, you know, you're posting different content on TikTok than you are to Facebook, and then Instagram is different itself again.
But it's an interesting question, Rossi, because surely when you write the song, you can't write for you can't.
No.
How you sell the song.
You can only write what you feel,
How you sell the song's different then. How you sort of present it, represent it. Yeah, but a good song's a good song. It doesn't matter how old you are. You hear a song and you just go, my God, that's good. Doesn't matter how old you are, I reckon.
That's true.
I mean, I feel like when I'm writing and when you're in the studio, I kind of just, all of that stuff goes out of my mind, and then I'm just like, just writing a song. The only thing that I think probably filters in is probably like, you know, probably make it, you know, maybe 30 seconds for it to hit the chorus for radio purposes if it's an upbeat song, you know, try and get it in straight away. And that's just like, when I first started releasing music, I'm like, I'm never going to cave to that bullshit. Now that I realize how hard it is, I'm like, we're on the 30-second mark, cut 4 seconds out.
But glad to see the Postcard was sub 3 minutes too. I like that. It's a pop song. Sub 3 minutes. You know how I feel about that, fellas?
Absolutely. Hey, Camille, with Rivers of Sins, I know Braggy's itching to dive into the album, but you had a couple of really high-profile guest appearances, Shane Nicholson and Brad Butcher. How did that come about, and are they still part of your journey moving forward? I think the Shane you mentioned was obviously Shane Nicholson before, but are they still supporting? Are they still up for collabs and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I love Shane. I will take any opportunity to talk about him. He is my absolute idol. And then honestly, like, I feel like he's been my biggest mentor and champion my entire career. I feel like he's just amazing. Like, and I, you know, I grew up listening to Shane. So working with him I didn't think it was going to happen. It was just a stab in the dark. I just sent that email out. I'm like, he's never going to reply. And then he replied, and I was screaming around the room for like 20 minutes. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, so when the 6 o'clock, the song that Shane duets on, that was never actually a duet. we're in the studio, and he said, it was like, oh, this song could really suit being a duet. And, as a new artist, sometimes it's a good idea to bring on another artist who is a bit more established to try and, give you something to talk about. So with press, they can be like, oh, it just gets your foot in the door a little bit more. And then he was like, okay, so like, do you have anyone in mind? I'm like, you, please. And he was like, well, I'm already producing it, so you've got my name. So, it'd be good for you to pick someone else. I was like, no. 10-year-old me would freak out. You're singing it.
I mean, that guy, he deserves some sort of special, because so many young artists we've had on here say the same thing.
Yeah.
So he's helped so many people. He needs some sort of special Tamworth.
Oh, honestly,
award.
I feel like he's actually a good friend of mine now, but it was after I recorded River of Sins, a couple of years after, I think when I went through a breakup with a long-term partner, Shane called me like every day for like a month and a half to be like, hey kiddo, how you going? And just like a little text, like once a day for at least a month, be like, how you going, kiddo? Chin up. Like that's just the kind of person he is.
That's great.
That is great. That is awesome. So Braggy, what caught your eye around River of Sins? You mentioned it was a dark album.
Oh, I really like I Know I'm Hard to Love. I love the words in that. I know I'm hard to love sometimes, but I want you to try. I know the rain is fell for a while. Is that how you said it? The rain is fell for a while, or the rain I think it is.
Yes.
Just love the way that the rain is fell for a while, but the sun waits on the other side. But it's like it's almost a gospel thing. There's a lot of dealing with the devil, and Mary's in there, which is that really short song as well. That's how I'm kind of reading it. We never talk about politics and religion on here, but are you religious?
No, not at all.
Okay. It comes. I don't know. I love it. Do you think it's a bit gospelly?
I love that you said that. I love gospel. I feel like it was definitely
trying low voice. You got really low range in some of them. Sorry to interrupt. A couple of like that 6 o'clock's really low for you, but it's great because mic close up mic. I like stuff like that.
Proximity effect, they call it, Braggy.
Yeah, and is that what it is? Yeah. Was that Frank Sinatra the first one to do that? The close miking technique?
Actually, I was hearing something about that today, but anyway.
I think you was.
It's funny though, because I was 20 when we recorded River of Sins, and I feel like I sound older in River of Sins than I do in Postcard now, which is so crazy. But I just finished uni, I'd done a songwriting degree, and I was like, I'm a moody songwriter, but I was just really into that Americana gospel. Yeah. Like I loved it, and like Patty Griffin, and then the start of Humming Chain, we were just like, let's bring all the gospel vibes in.
Yeah.
Also, my parents were quite concerned. They're like, Camille, what's going on? You're writing a lot of songs about the devil. And
that's what I thought. What's going on here? And then I was thinking, hang on, that's 2021. She must have been really young when she wrote that. Well,
funny, cool. My mum said the same thing when she found the stack of Charles Manson books in my bedroom.
Oh no, Rossi. And what happened? You just kept on killing?
I'm not.
No comment.
What was his quote? I think he said, I never killed anyone. If I started killing you, people, there'd be none of you left.
Oh, God. Camille, I love Magic Trick. I love that line that says, I make people disappear. It's just really thought-provoking very early in the song. But my question is actually not about the music. Both Magic Trick and 20s are in lowercase. Is that intentionally, or is that just you forgot to put the capitals in?
You're the first person to notice this. Yes, I love it. No, it was definitely intentional. I feel like it was trying to, because the songs were very like honest, say it how it is. It's just like kind of bare. So we kind of wanted that title. It's all in lower. It makes it unofficial. It's less formal. So I feel like that was kind of the idea around it.
Well spotted, Curly.
Very interesting. You always notice it when someone's got their songs in caps, and I always question myself.
Why are they shouting at me?
Yeah, why have they done that? Is that intentional, or they're a little bit older and don't know how to use the shift key? I don't know. So, So it's intentional. That's cool. But tell us about Magic Trick. What's the background behind that song?
I mean, it's a very sad song, but that one was actually, it's so sad. It was actually when I met my partner that I'm with now. And it was kind of just that moment where you're like, oh, shit, like, I don't want to go through all this again. I don't want to have to go through this for it to not work. And then I'm back where I just started, and then I have to do it all over again. It was just kind of, and I think it was really the first time, because, I mean, I'm a songwriter. I love love. I love love. I think it was also the first time that I had felt in my life where I was like, I don't want to do it. And I kind of felt like I was wanting to push them away. And it was and that kind of scared me, because I was like, oh shit, like this has kind of really hit me. And it was kind of, that moment I was like, oh, this has kind of really fucked me up.
Don't get used to it. I've got this magic trick. I make people disappear. I'm getting good at it. Don't think you're gonna stick, 'cause I know what's ahead. You're gonna figure me out, then you will let me down. Then I'm all alone again, wondering how this happened. 'Cause I spent so long building these walls tall, not for you to just walk in. Take one look around and knock them down. Then you'll leave and I'll start again.
So you wrote a song, which all good songwriters do.
They get it out.
The cathartic nature of songwriting, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It's a therapy. And I'm like, right, I can move on now.
Yeah, I think as we hear it as often as we do, but it's true. Like every songwriter, like don't people say that sometimes you can write a letter to someone and set fire to it, and it's cathartic as well. I think it's another technique other people use. But you write songs about it. But after a while, the song becomes a song, and it has less power.
Yeah,
or power over you.
And it's not really yours anymore. I feel like as soon as you release it, it's mine.
Yeah, it belongs to everyone then. When you play live, you obviously must do some solo gigs, but you have like a regular band.
Yeah, I feel like most of the times when I've played live, it's always at festivals. So we try to get session musos in, but most of the time it's always been Jackie Barnes on drums. He's amazing.
Oh, he's a killer. He's a beast of a drummer, Jackie.
I love him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
With
Matt Smith on guitar. He's amazing as well. Do you know Matt?
Yep. I don't know if I know Matt. I might know him.
Yeah, he's plays in Thirsty Merc as well. He's a guy.
Well, they're killer players. Like, Ray's in Toto now.
Yeah, I saw
that.
Yeah, he's in Toto. Yeah. He came off the Joe Satriani tour, went straight to Toto. Like, that's...
Yeah. I've seen him in a couple of those Scary Pocket videos and stuff too.
Yeah.
Hanging with
pretty
all those
good.
Guys play.
So you're dealing with high-grade players. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're amazing. I feel like when I hang out with them, I'm like, I don't feel very good with you two in this room. I'm like, sorry if I make a mistake. But they're amazing. They're so good.
Yeah.
You got the voice to carry it.
That's great.
Very much so.
Deadly.
So now I read this right, didn't I? You were raised on a cattle farm, right? So has it always been, and I think you mentioned Hilary Duff. My daughter loved Hilary Duff, and she actually did one of those videos or miming videos to try and get a prize with Hilary Duff, which I keep trotting out at all her major birthdays, and she just thanks me so much for that.
Another bad thing.
But has it always been like a country sort of a theme for you, or was there like any other influences along your way?
I mean, I feel like even though we grew up on the farm, we didn't actually listen to a whole lot of country music, I suppose. Growing up, I feel like the music I grew up listening to was always like 60s to 80s, kind of listen to, you know, like Chuck Berry and Boney M, and then Creedence, Fleetwood Mac, just like all the goodies. Daddy Cool. Yeah, so I feel like we didn't listen to actually too much country. Ironically, the country music that we listened to was Shane Nicholson. And then also like Alan Jackson, kind of a bit more probably that traditional country. I don't know if he's classed as country. Probably not. John Mellencamp. Do people class him as country?
It's Americana in a way, really.
It's Americana.
What do they call that? Like Heartland or something? Like Heartland music. So.
Yeah.
Well,
so I feel like rocker listen to that, really.
He was a rocker at the start when he did I Need a Lover, wasn't he? It's like a Springsteen wannabe.
Yeah, and it hurts so good. Was that that's Cougar, isn't it? Mellencamp.
That's Cougar Mellencamp. Yeah,
it's so good.
I had a lot of those covers in the day.
Hang up.
So talking about the last three, like you said, 20s, got to get to know you. Postcard. Are you thinking about? Are you just bringing out singles, or are you making a bigger piece of art in the future? Do you reckon?
Kind of just bringing out some singles. I've got some ready to go for this year, which is good. I'm excited. It's nice to be back. I'm really excited to just, you know, one after the other.
And we're going to follow this direction of like a bit more indie style.
Yeah, I think so. And the next song, it's probably even a bit more pop, potentially, than this one. But yeah, very upbeat. It's a cool, fun new vibe. I'm excited.
Yeah. I like it. Postcard's good. I like the guitar at the start. That's like very indie.
Yeah.
I just know it's been a while since someone's cited Taylor Swift as an influence on the pod. It's been a while. For a while there was every week it was Taylor this and Taylor that. Now, yesterday's news. Yesterday's news. It's all over for Taylor. She's gone.
I mean, he's pretty cool. He's very talented, but
she's a super cool kid. She's a cool kid, I reckon.
I'm sure she's not complaining, right?
She's going to have to go back to brown bread now.
Making sandwiches for husband to take to the football.
Absolutely. So coming from Australia and obviously the country music festivals and what you've been doing, there's a real community sense around country music at the moment. It's a growing audience that you've got. Do you have designs to go to Nashville to try and see what that, or whether there's an opportunity there, or are you content, or well, I shouldn't use the word content, is your focus on Australia and proving yourself as that independent artist that you're now wanting to be?
I mean, I think Nashville it's always, you know, a dream to go to Nashville, play at the Bluebird Cafe. Like that's pretty insane. You know, if you can play at the Grand Ole Opry, it's kind of like you've just made it in life. So I'd love to go to Nashville. I don't know if like I would want to move there particularly, but I would definitely love to do trips and, you know, tee up songwriting. There's so many talented artists there. I feel like it's just such a great opportunity to mingle and even just go to shows, because I feel like, I don't know, Nashville is like all the talent congregates there. So I feel like when you would go and visit, you would go there and actually be like, shit, I need to up my game. Just, you know, it's the best of the best there. So I feel like it'd be very inspiring.
I reckon England, you've already got to follow it on England.
It's just not country people in Nashville nowadays. There's metal guys, session players, all that sort of stuff. As a matter of fact, I picked this T-shirt up in Nashville. Curly, have you been to Nashville?
Rossi, funnily enough, I have been to Nashville.
Right.
This is the thing in the game they play, Camille, because I haven't been to Nashville. But I don't need to because I live in Adelaide. Capital.
But you're right, Rossi. Nashville is such a smorgasbord. We had Jonah Crowd on the podcast, and his music is very definitely not country, and very atmospheric and almost like an industrial sort of music style.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, and he's recorded that in Nashville. So you're right. Yeah. It's just like
there's so many producers moved there as well. Like watching an interview with Kevin Shirley, who's Joe Bonamassa's guy, and they're basing Nashville these days. And Joe Bonamassa's a blues player and a killer player too, I will say. So like there's a lot of metal bands, there's emo, there's crabcore bands, there's all that sort of stuff just ending up in Nashville now. Because it used to be LA. Now they've all gone to Nashville.
Yeah. And
when
when you
so
think
nice
about
there.
Australians in Nashville, like we've got Katrina Burgoyne there, of course, and she's just released a new song called Back Up. 77,000 streams sitting here on Spotify. On Spotify. We've got Brittany Elise over there doing some great stuff. Talking about London, Tyler Rodriguez has just done a show in London and now heading to CMC. We've got Robbie Mortimer going to CMC. And Mel Dyer, your friend Rossi, now lives in Nashville, all trying to break into that scene.
It's a bit crowded.
That's why you don't need to go there, Braggy. That's why you don't need to go there.
There's other markets.
Adelaide.
There's got to be other markets. Surely, Camille, there's got to be other markets. Like you've already been to London. Let's ask giving her Camille a career advice.
Have you tried Agnes Waters?
It's like having three dads. It's like having three dads, Camille.
I love it. The more the merrier.
So, Camille, your experience with Tamworth, do you go to Tamworth most years, or what sort of shows have you played there? Because basically that's our Nashville, isn't it? That week, 10 days in January. So what have you done? What's your relationship like with Tamworth? Do you go?
I haven't been for the last 2 years. I can't remember. One time I was in Ireland, so I couldn't go. And then I can't remember why I couldn't go last year. Ironically, the one year that I don't go is when it was like not hot. I'm like, come on. But what did I do? 1 year I played at the Golden Guitar Awards, which was insane. I was so nervous. I was like, everyone is here. This is the one that you do not stuff this one up. Like, you have to be good. And then most of them have been, like joint co-headline shows. I did a co-headline show with Riley Catherall, who was amazing, and Rachel Whitchurch as well. And then kind of did a lot of opening kind of support shows for Michael War. But yeah, I feel like Tamworth is really hard to do like a headline show, I think, for me as a smaller artist. I think it's hard to get people in rooms, especially when there's so much going on. So I've found in previous years it was much easier to, join forces. But I love Tamworth. I mean, it's always like sad when I don't go and I'm seeing it on social media and I have FOMO. I'm like, oh.
Absolutely. So Postcard's just come out. So what can we expect after Postcards? What's coming up next?
Got some singles, which is fun. Very much in the same vibe, very upbeat, which will make some people happy. I had a lady at one of the shows. It was when I was on tour with Ash Grummold, and I think she had quite a few wines during the show. I think the show, it started at like 3 p.m. But I didn't go on until 7, but the doors had been open at 3. So it was quite a long time for refreshments.
The ladies were drinking wine.
Yeah. But it was funny after the show, and she's walking out and she was just very angry with me. She's like, you shouldn't be so sad. It's ridiculous that young people are so sad. I'm like, I'm actually a very happy and bubbly person. I just like writing sad songs. Like, it's fun to me. She was like, this is ridiculous. So I feel like she'll be very happy that the songs are a bit more uplifting from now on.
Oh, you can only write how you feel at the time, So when they come out. So,
yeah.
Sometimes it's also just nice being a bit dramatic.
Yeah.
It'll be like one line and I'll be like, oh, that's sad. Let's lean into that. Let's emphasize the story.
Yeah. I mean, romantic comedies are massive, for movie sales. So, of course, people love that stuff. What do you say, Curly?
100%. Absolutely. When you do Tamworth again, we just have the only invoice we ever send our guests is if you're ever on the red carpet going to the Golden Guitars, you lean in as you're being interviewed by whoever's on the red carpet, and you look at the camera and you say, I just want to do a quick shout out to the boys, right? That's all we ask. So somewhere along the line, we're going to expect you on the red carpet because you've got some serious talent there, and I love the shift. I love Postcards. Love 20s, love Magic Trick. You've got so much talent sitting there, so we will expect you on the red carpet.
Or the arias.
Yeah, arias. Arias would be big. So we have had two artists that have done that for us so far. We've had Brittany Elise 2 years ago, and then she took off to Nashville. That's what it does. It gives you that impetus.
Elevates.
Right.
It does.
And Katie Brooke this year did it. So
she's packing her bags as we speak.
Yep, absolutely.
Imagine if we got a shout out to the Arias. Imagine that.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So, all right.
I'll try my best.
Come on, do it for us, Camille.
Come on, Camille. Just do it for us.
I'll send you a message just as you're lining up on the red carpet. Don't forget, shout out to the boys. Camille, it's been awesome having you on the show. What is you mentioned you're not quite comfortable with some aspects of social media. So if anyone was going to go visit you on social media, which is the best platform for them to go to?
I mean, probably Instagram and Facebook. They seem like the main ones. But if you want to see some wacky, weird stuff, then maybe TikTok of me just being a goose.
Okay. And why not? We've all got to do our thing to get ourselves noticed. And you did on your Facebook page the little thing where you took the Mickey out of yourself in talking to the camera and, hi, I'm a songwriter and I write songs. Well, what else does a songwriter do? So it sounded very natural and very informative. So we'll make sure those links are in our show notes. And if you have liked what you've heard tonight with Camille, make sure you check her out on all the streaming platforms, which once again will be in our show notes. Next week, we have, fingers crossed, another band from Melbourne, right? And these guys, they're called the Smith and Western Jury, right? So what a great name. I love it. They've sent through their new song for us to have a listen to. It's called Rolling the Dice. And can I tell you, it's not bad. It is not bad. So hopefully, if our schedules can make it work, we'll be talking with them next week. So really excited about that. But if you've loved what you heard, hit follow, share the show, dig deeper on our Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and Apple Music playlist. We will be adding Camille's music to our Every Damn Song playlist and Fresh Female Country Artist playlist. So make sure you check them out. More artists, more stories, more reasons to listen. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered. Once again, thanks again, Camille. And boys, I will see you next week. Bye for now.
Awesome.
Only 5 years till I'm 30, and I swear I had more friends at 18. And I've never felt so lonely, except that breakup when I was 23. Everybody said it'd be easy when you got no responsibilities. I haven't bought a house yet, no marriage or no kids yet. Got no songs playing on the radio. No, I'm not even a little bit close to becoming that big star. I feel I haven't gotten that far in my 20s. Now my brothers.
For this episode of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. If you've liked what you've heard, please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week.